When Hurricane Melissa tore through Jamaica, it didn't just rip roofs from houses, it ripped through the very soul of the island. But in the silence that followed the storm, in the rubble, the mud, the broken roads, something powerful began to rise. It wasn't the government, it wasn't foreign aid, it was Jamaica's own heartbeat, its artists, from Shaggy to Seanpaul, Vybz Kartel to Masicka, Spice, Beenie Man, and many more. Jamaica's biggest stars didn't wait for instructions. They moved with urgency. They moved with love. They moved for Jamaica. This is the story of how dancehall and reggae became the country's first responders after one of the worst disasters in recent Caribbean history, the storm that shook Jamaica. It began quietly, a whisper on radio stations, a storm forming south of Hispaniola. Nothing unusual. But by nightfall, Hurricane Melissa exploded into a Category 5 monster winds over 160 kilometers per hour, smashed the western parishes. St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, homes flattened, bridges cut off, entire communities submerged. Families clung to each other as floodwaters swallowed streets that once echoed laughter, dancehall bass lines, and the sweet hum of everyday Jamaican life. Some called it the darkest storm since Gilbert. Others said it felt worse. But in the silence, after devastation, hope found its voice again, through the very figures who represent Jamaica to the world. Shaggy, when a global star shows up at home. Shaggy didn't tweet condolences. He booked a flight. 2 days after the storm, the Grammy-winning superstar was back in Jamaica, not on a stage, but in the heart of the disaster zone. His Shaggy Make a Difference Foundation coordinated relief flights carrying food supplies, bottled water, diapers, medicine, and tarpaulins, over 40 tons of aid shelters in Montego Bay and Savlamar called his team lifesavers. Shaggy told reporters bluntly, "We can't just sing about love. When the island bleeds, we move." And move he did, for the second, third, and fourth time, proving yet again why Jamaicans call him a real-life hero. Seanpaul, turning global fans into local help. While Shaggy worked on the ground, Seanpaul mobilized the world. He went live on Instagram moments after seeing the first aerial footage of the damage. "If every fan gives $1, we can rebuild communities." And with that, he pledged to match up to $50,000 in public donations through the Seanpaul Foundation and a partnership with Food for the Poor Jamaica. He helped raise over $200,000 within days. The funds rebuilt damaged schools, restored community kitchens, and provided tools to farmers hit hardest in St. Elizabeth. Seanpaul reminded everyone that charity isn't performance, it's purpose. Masicka, young leadership in action. Masicka didn't wait for a press release. He didn't wait for recognition. Through his MAID Foundation, he organized delivery trucks into rural areas cut off from the main roadways. Rice, flour, water, canned foods, baby formula, every truckload mattered. Over 10,000 meals distributed, roofing materials delivered, school supplies donated for displaced families. Masicka wasn't just dropping donations. He was helping clear debris, directing youth volunteers, and ensuring help reached the forgotten corners of the island. He said, "Music gave me a platform, but this is real purpose." A new generation of dancehall showed maturity, leadership, and heart. Vybz Kartel, the Adidja Palmer Foundation, steps up. Even behind the scenes, Kartel made his presence felt. Through the Adidja Palmer Foundation, his team coordinated with World Central Kitchen and local outreach groups to send food, water, hygiene kits, and blankets to the hardest-hit areas. One major shipment, a 40-foot container packed with food supplies, fresh bread, 12,000 bottles of water, toiletries, and cooking essentials. Kartel's team visited shelters across Montego Bay, assisting displaced families. He personally committed to funding repairs for a damaged children's home. Kartel's message was powerful. Jamaica build me, so me huffy, build back Jamaica. For many fans, it was proof that transformation and responsibility can walk hand in hand. Spice, the queen of dancehall, the queen of giving. The moment she landed from her US tour, Spice headed straight to the relief centers. She donated clothing, building materials, food supplies, and more across Hanover and Westmoreland. But the biggest impact came online. Her emergency livestream fundraiser pulled in over $5 million Jamaican dollars in 24 hours. Spice reminded fans, "We can party later. Right now, we rebuild." Strong, loud, powerful, just like her music. She showed once again that her crown isn't only for performance, but for service. Beenie Man, the doctor still healing his people. Beenie Man formed a volunteer team that traveled into communities still without electricity or running water. His crews delivered food packages, cleaning supplies, and helped patch damaged roofs in remote rural parishes. He said, "Jamaica raised me, so me huffy raised Jamaica back." This was grassroots heroism, the type that doesn't chase headlines, but changes lives. Other artists who stepped up, even if not featured. Beyond the big names, many other Jamaican artists, public figures, and entertainers played critical roles, even if their efforts were not covered in the main story. The truth is simple. This relief mission was bigger than any single artist. It was a national movement. The united front when music becomes mission. By mid-November, something beautiful had happened. Dancehall, reggae gospel, soca, radio, sound systems, influencers, diaspora performers. Everyone came together. More than $1 million was raised collectively. Donation concerts lit up the island. Diaspora events from Miami to London funneled resources home. For the first time in a long time, Jamaica wasn't divided by rivalry or genre, it was united by love. Why this matters? Why does it matter when artists help? Because in Jamaica, artists are more than celebrities. They're voices of reason, voices of hope, voices people listen to. When Shaggy lands in Mo Bay, when Spice calls for help online, when Kartel's team shows up at a shelter, people move. People feel seen. People feel hope. Their leadership reached places even official agencies couldn't reach in time. This is cultural leadership, born not from politics, but from respect. The legacy beyond the beat. Years from now, historians will talk about Hurricane Melissa. They will speak of the destruction, but they will also speak of resilience. The day Shaggy touched down with supplies. The day Seanpaul turned global fans into relief soldiers. The day Masicka brought structure and discipline to disaster zones. The day Kartel's foundation became a pillar of support. The day Spice rallied Jamaica online. The day Beenie Man reached the forgotten parishes. The day countless artists, on and off camera, stepped up. This wasn't just relief work. It was a reminder. One Love is not just a lyric. It's a lifestyle. From the rubble rose unity. From the floodwaters rose strength. And from the silence rose music. Not for entertainment, but for healing. As the sun sets over Montego Bay today, the island hums again, with gratitude, with courage, with rebirth. Because Jamaica, as always, remains. Lickle but Talawa. And if this story moved you, tap like, subscribe to their profiles, and share this video. Because sometimes, the biggest hit isn't a song, it's an act of kindness.